What's up guys, Groovy Guitar Dude here, and the first thing you want to know for Party Monster by The Weeknd is that you want a capo on 6th fret. So what we're basing this guitar piece off of is a combination of two guitar parts that are played throughout this song. The first one is just a picking pattern, and all that is it's on D string, 2nd and 3rd fret, and it just goes like this. 2nd, 3rd, 2nd. And it plays like that through the whole song. It just does this. Through the whole entire song. The next piece we're going to add on top of that is chords. And this is where it gets a little interesting, because what we're going to try to do is we're going to play chords while we're playing to give it a really interesting and full sound. This technique would be great for a cover. I really love using this type of technique because it really adds a lot of different dynamics to somebody who may just be playing just an acoustic guitar. So the chords we're going to use throughout this song are going to be A minor, G, F, and back to G in that order. For our strum pattern, what we're going to be doing is just 3 down strums, so doot, 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 and then what we're going to have is we're going to have a chuck down up, okay? If you don't know what a chuck is, it's where you mute all of your strings, and then you basically strum without playing a chord, and it makes a sound. We're going to do that technique for every single chord. So one more time, that's 3 down strums and then chuck, chuck. Now playing this picking part with the chords is going to be relatively easy on 2 of the chords, and it's going to be relatively difficult on 1 of the chords. The A minor and the G are going to be a little bit easy, and the F is going to be a little bit tricky, and you definitely need to be pretty comfortable with that F chord, which I know a lot of people are still kind of working on that if you're in the beginning stages. Don't worry about it too much, but it just is going to take a little extra time to get that picking and the F chord at the same time down if you're not super comfortable with that. So we're going to start with our A minor. So we're going to have an open, just regular A minor, just like that. So we're going to have, that's going to be our first down strum. And then we're going to have our pinky on 3rd fret of the D. This is where that picking comes in. Okay, so open, and then 3rd fret, add that 3rd fret, and then open again. And that's our A minor, and then we'll chuck, chuck. All right, so that is going to sound like this, about full speed. Okay, that's our first chord. Next, we're going to go to our G. Now, I like to play my Gs kind of like this, with 2 at the bottom on 3rd fret, and then 1 at the top on 3rd as well on the low E. And then I kind of mute my A string with the bottom of my middle finger. And that helps for this song because we need to use our pointer finger for that 2nd fret D string for our picking, all right? You don't have to do it like that, but for this song it helps. For our G on this one, we're going to use basically this shape, except we're going to take our pinky off. We're going to have ring finger 3rd fret on B, and then we're going to have middle finger 3rd fret on low E, and then we're going to have pointer finger 2nd fret D. Okay, so same thing. That's going to be our first shape. We're going to go down like that, and then we're going to add our pinky onto 3rd fret D. Okay, and then we're going to take our pinky off. All right, you can even not hit that high E if you want to, because it'll sound a little funny since that's open. It's not really supposed to be open for a G, so you don't have to strum the full chord if that sounds better to you. So it'll basically be this, and then add your pinky on 3rd on D, and then take that pinky off, and then chuck, chuck. So far what we have. I don't know if I mentioned this yet, I don't think I had, but just in case I have not, you're going to play through each chord twice. Alright, now that brings us to our F chord. Like I said, this is going to be the relatively complicated one, just because you kind of already have to use all of your fingers, so you kind of have to improvise a little bit, and maybe do some muting in there as well. So really it doesn't matter, you can play your F chord as your bar chord, or you can play it kind of as this deal where you throw your thumb up on the low E and then kind of do this little staircase thing. Either way, whatever way you feel like is easiest for you and most comfortable. I'm kind of doing this staircase thing, but it doesn't make too much of a difference. Just play whatever you feel most comfortable with. Okay, so this is the tricky one, okay? So what you're going to want to do is, I'm using my staircase, so what we're going to have is right here, you got to hit that 2nd fret D, and we're going to have to find a way to hit that 3rd fret D as well whenever it comes time for it. So what I'm doing is, for the F, you kind of have to have the 2nd fret G on there as well for it to be a full F. Or you need to not have that G in there at all. So I'm kind of going with the not having that G in there at all technique. And I'm playing that, I'm moving, so I'm doing my F, right, regular F. But I'm moving my middle finger up to the D string, and I'm kind of using the bottom of my middle finger to mute that G string. You don't have to do it exactly like that. If you can find a better way, do it. But that's just kind of the way that I've found where that G doesn't ruin my F, because if you play that with just the open G right there, which is what I was just doing, it doesn't really sound right. So it doesn't sound bad, it just doesn't sound right. So what I'm doing, like I said, is just using the bottom part of my finger right there to mute that G string. So you may get a little bit of buzz, but I'd rather have buzz than it not sound right. All right. So what we're doing is we're doing our F, okay, and then we're gonna have, like I was showing you, just that shape where you mute that G, and then you have your, basically you got 1st fret on high E and B, and you got your thumb up here on low E, or you can do your bar if you want to do that way. And then we have a middle finger on 2nd fret of D, and you're muting your G string with the bottom of that finger. And then you have your ring finger, or your third finger, on 3rd fret of A. All right, that's our first shape. Okay. And then same thing with that one. We're going to slap our pinky down on 3rd fret of D. Okay, and then we're going to take that pinky off. And then chuck, chuck. And then we're going to switch back to our G for the same pattern on that G as we went through earlier. Okay guys, so like I said, really the only thing that's pretty complicated in there, I mean, it's all a little bit complex if you're a beginner, but really the only complicated part is going to be that F. Just figuring out the best way that's most comfortable for you to play that fancy F is going to be the challenge. So I'm going to play it once through all the way slow, and I'll play it once through all the way about full speed. Alright, now once through about full speed. And guys, that is about all you need to know for Party Monster by The Weeknd. As always, if you guys have any questions, hit me up in the comments below. I'm usually pretty quick getting back to them. This song was a little bit more complicated. It's a little bit more towards that intermediate to advanced level guitarist kind of lesson. The chords for it are easy, and the picking for it is easy, but the cool part, putting them together, is the part that makes it kind of difficult. But that is kind of my favorite style of playing, is when you can play complex parts that sound like more than one guitar going at the same time. This is one of those songs. So if you guys have any questions, don't hesitate to hit me up in the comments below. Like I said, it's a little bit more of a difficult lesson than I usually do, but I'm more than willing to help out if you guys get stuck. Guys, if you liked this video and if it helped you out, please hit that subscribe button. I do lessons like this all the time. I love doing ones on like R&B and rap style music, kind of like this one. I plan on doing quite a few more of The Weeknd's new songs from his new album. So if you're into that kind of stuff, hit that subscribe button. I also already have about 230 other lessons posted up here, and I post 1 or 2 new ones every day. So if you're learning guitar, you're interested in this kind of music, or really any other kind of music, this is a good channel for you to subscribe to. Lastly guys, if you're interested in any of my gear, my microphones, my guitars, anything like that, whatever, I have that all linked in the description below. I get a lot of questions for that, so I just kind of put it all down there, and the people that are interested can find it there. Guys, I hope this lesson helped y'all out, and I also hope y'all have a wonderful day. I'll see y'all soon.